What is this? What is casting couch?
Casting couch.
Wow, thank you. And you spell it with a K, phonetically sounding Kasting. KOUCH / wow. Used in reference to the supposed practice whereby actors or actresses are awarded parts in films, plays, or other productions in return for granting sexual favors to the casting director. What is the cow? What is the cast? Hmm. Well, you are all believers that you're the writer of your own life, that you are the little carver that's just mashing away a story that you're manifesting, all based on your wishes and dreams and desires and affiliations and relationships and this and that. Wow, you're the master little wizard of manipulation. Yes. And who knew you would do anything in your power to achieve whatever it is that you want? Who knew? Who knew? But sexual favors, what? Sex. Who knew that wow, you probably thought the director was hot and you did want to have sex with him or her or this or that other, but you just did it and it was just like, yeah, I fricked my bean and I fricked theirs. So, what's the problem? Exactly. I mean, there's what is the what is the taboo behind this? There's no taboo. It's just, I mean, people make reference to it. There's jokes about it. It's just out there. It's just smashing you. It's just somehow. It's just Urban Dictionary. It's just a myth. It's just supposed. The supposed practice, guys. It's just supposed. They might as well just put alleged. Right? Because what is it really saying? Nothing. It's just giving you how you say it,
Casting couch.
and then some bash thing, right? And then the other bash thing says, "Wow, the casting couch syndrome, right? Like Stockholm syndrome, or casting couch mentality is the exchange of sexual favors." Human sexual activity, human sexual practice, or human sexual behavior is a manner in which humans experience and express their sexuality, which is what? The little bean and the little phallus? What is it? People engage in a variety of sexual acts, ranging from activities done alone to acts with another person in varying patterns of frequency for a bash. What else is this bash say? Who knew? Varying patterns of frequency for a wide variety of reasons. In a state of doubt, ambiguity, relativity. Sexual activity usually results in sexual arousal. What is arousal? Because that's interesting. Erotic, right? Eros, this and that. Lust. And psychological changes in the aroused person, right? Oh, you somehow shaped you're someone else when you're aroused. Wow, you changed. Some of which are pronounced with blah, blah, subtle. Sexual activity may also include conduct and activities which are intended to arouse the sexual interest of another or enhance the sex life of another, such as strategies to find or attract partners, courtship and display behavior, or personal interaction between individuals, for instance, foreplay, BDSM, sexual activity may follow. So any type of fetish and all, it's all good. Human sexual activity has sociological, cognitive, emotional, behavioral, and biological aspects. These include personal bonding, sharing emotions, and the psychology of reproductive systems, sex drive, sexual intercourse, and sexual behavior in all its forms. So, what do sexual behaviors in all its forms between a man and a woman? What the inevitable result is the forming of another life form. Another child has been birthed into the world. So rejoice. But no, you said, oh, they're in the way. Oh, they're in the way of me smashing. So, why did you have to keep the baby? I thought we said we were going to carve it out of you if it happened. Why did you get all motherly all of a sudden? And this and that and this and this and that and that and that. So, what is going on? For truly, this is, I mean, all these bash. Look at all these terms. Look at all these words. Word salad. Because truly, wow, a man and a woman become one flesh in the love of the Father, the unconditional embrace, in worship of God, in the shelter of truth, enduring the flesh in the way, and yes, overcoming. As one flesh, who knew? And who knew I mean, wow, if that isn't, that is, what does, that's not a dream. That, what, wow, everybody knows that. Everybody just has bashed away from it, ran as fast as they could from it. Wow. In some cultures, sexual activity is considered acceptable only within marriage, while premarital and extramarital sex are taboo. So I mean, they're taboo into apparent 2019, 2020. It's 2020, and what? It's taboo? No, everything could just slab its roast beef against whatever it wants. Even because even the fetus masturbates and this and this and this. No, what a shame. Some sexual activities are illegal, either universally or in some countries. Exactly. So some places okay, some places not. It's relative, or substantial jurisdictions, while some are considered contrary to the norms of certain societies. Exactly. So bash, relativism, bash. So we're just slapping our beans and smashing them together, exchanging all the disease fluids and not so diseased, but somehow pure fluids everywhere. It's just a soup. It's just a runny soup that weeps in the morning. Why is your vagina weeping? Why is your penis weeping in the morning? And you say, oh, it's because it's so, oh, she's so wet. Oh, no, diseased. Okay, what is going on? What is going on? Because, well, yes, premarital and extramarital, right? So, premarital, so before marriage, and extra, so you're married, but you're going out there and smashing anyway. So everybody just thinks, oh yeah, cheating is just amazing. As long as you're honest about it, just go out there and smash. And just wear a condom, please, honey. Come on, the last time I couldn't get rid of that chlamydia. It took weeks. Remember, you bastard. And this, and that. And the guy's like, oh, honey, I love you. You're the best. This, I provide for the family, and this, and that. Nothing. What is going on? Just jurisdictions, right? Believing that you're dishing out some sort of, some sort of rule for yourself of just liberation of sorts. all while you're just shanking yourself, just gutting yourself, and just worming it so you just sever all organs. It's just not surgical in and out. No, you stabbed it and then you're just twisting it in and out. Just bash. You're doing the swing. You're doing the swing motion, the infinite sign, the bash. You're just cooking up a storm in your own flesh. You're making sushi, but you're just doing it to yourself inside. Wow, it's bloodbath. Look at all the types, right? Look, there's so many types, right? Everybody just wants to get with everything, apparently. No. The cozy couch is sexual favors, right? Just getting smashed. Because, in witchcraft, the sex craft, I mean, that's what it is. Alchemy of sex, your sexual energy is what they say, the greatest creative power in this and this and this and this smashed. No. Life is given, right? We do not create anything. We are entrusted, are we not, in the image of God? So what are we executing? What are we living? What do we worship? For truly in worship of ourselves, we will go ahead in the relentless world of favor, in favor, out of favor. Well, I want this, so okay, I'll go along with that as long as it just feeds me. Who knew we're all in the relentless casting couch? Because the couch is the hand that feedeth, and we're the cast in it. So we're just out there smashing, thinking we're just somehow virtuous and not a defiler and this and this. When we all know we've gone along with things that not haven't just been. We're like, why are things like this? Like, why does one have to go through these bash things to just somehow get something or you know achieve something, right? And obligations and then affiliations and all this stuff. And so why? What's going on? I mean, exactly. Just like, for example, NGOs that are doing their thing, but then they have to become incorporated and this and that or whatever, and become succumb to the interests of those that feed it. So it has to whore itself out eventually, inevitably. Whore itself out to the interest of those who basically finance it. Throw coin at it and make it dance. They're the ones that can apparently make things happen, right? The director, right? The guy that can just say action and it happens and it's caught on film and now you are worshipped for whatever it is you embodied. Mm. The illusory thing that now is projected as some sort of reality, vicariously being absorbed and just taking it as an occupation. Whoa, somehow, exactly, you're this guy that says, "Wow, that movie was great," or "Wow, that news reel really showed me something." Boy, whoa, did we do a day's work? Exactly, and then you go home and smash nothing, just day in day out. That's you every day. Whoa, you're not. You're in relentless occupation, right? Where our works are truly in vain, right? Because we think that we're doing something to gain something for us when really it's just pushing to inevitable suffering and apparent survival to put food on the table or some bash obligated thing to that you must oblige to and just bend down, right? You have a syndrome. You bend down and take it just because it feels so good. It has made you famous in your own bashhood. The term casting couch originated in the motion picture industry with specific reference to couches in offices that would be used for sexual activity between casting directors or film producers and aspiring actors. Aw, who knew? Because what is an initiation, right? The action of admitting someone into a secret or obscure society or group, typically with a ritual, usually of the sexual nature. Yes, for that is what they worship. Their being, their kundalini that just rises and enlightens them. Wow. So who knew that that's why it's sex and not just like, oh, get me a good scotch, buddy. You'd be a good buy and give me the greatest scotch and you'll get the part. No, it has to be some bash. Why is it's always bash sex, right? For the witch, for the sorcerer, for the ritualist of doing as thou wilt and making manifest their desires in the flesh. Who knew? Their desires and wishes. Who knew? So that's what they promise. Hey, buddy, you want to make it in Hollywood? You want to make it in the indie film? You want to make a bash porn? You want to make a modern nude, women's liberalization film? It's done real. It's in this island down in the Caribbean, and it's gonna be amazing. And we'll just come vacation for 2 weeks. You could meet everyone, and then at the end we'll have the scene. Okay, what do you say? And they're like, "Oh my goodness, no! Wow, is that for real? Now, wow! Do I get to decide for myself in the end? Oh, absolutely." Of course, yes. See this as an opportunity, and this and that and that and this and this. All because it's an organization. Who knew, right? Leaving your occupation to be being part of something greater. And be affiliated with this. Create your enterprise and be this superior lion and be out there boasting. All actors. Exactly. Because everyone's a cast in their own bash life, apparently. So, who knew that this is what you're relentlessly up against? But you deny it. And you're shocked when you're saying, "What? These perverts are doing this to the children? No. No, that's just a few bad apples, right? Because who knew that it's magic to them? Freaking that bean is magic to them. It's enlightenment, apparently, to just shapeshift and smash in the light. Right? So, the casting couch is you. It's not some bash myth or taboo notion that's, well, alleged, supposed. Because you're the relentless initiate, right? Right? But you're just bashed, and just because you go and you're admitted into some bash, obscure secret society, now they're just gonna bash you openly instead of outside. You're being bashed, but by the invisible hand. So in the actual brotherhood, you smash, and then you go out there and smash, and you're part of the invisible hand. Wow, all doing their part in the organ of the corpse, perpetuating the living dead. Who knew? By abusing life and reaping the rewards of the pleasures you want in the flesh. Who knew? The action of beginning something, right? So the casting couch, hey, if you suck me off, right? If you suck me off, what? You begin your career. If you let me just finger bang you, finger blast you, and just let my friend, do this to you, we're game on. It's the beginning of your career. It's a great opportunity. Or have my friend Billy bring you up to my room later tonight, and she's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Oh, I want to give you a present." So after partying, bash, bash, she brings the guy that she thinks she's gonna get with, And then all of a sudden it's like, hey guy, oh I'm glad you stayed. And then Buddy leaves, and then he's like, you're left with that Bash, and you're like, well, you already smashed and blah blah blah. And he's like, well, okay, well, this is how we all you were just so pretty, and that's why I want this mom and smash, 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 smash. And she's like, well, you want that part, don't you? Well, yeah, but well, fine. We'll call. Well, let's call Billy back in here again, and he'll take you home, and we'll keep looking. She's like, no, 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 fine, 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 but no, but can Billy come back and at least you can just watch? And she's like, okay, fine, smashed, and this and that and that and that and that. But no, 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 it's never that. No, never. And sure, you say, well, there's the bad apples, but somehow it's just all good. You don't think that the actual master manipulators of the images that are created to cook you out there every year don't worship the light? Wow, what a shame. No, they are all master manipulators, image mashers, creating and cooking up these things that you think you're living, and somehow now you can bash the world in that through those optics. Amazing! For truly you're blind and you just believe whatever it is that you see because you don't see life. No, you don't. You see the blast counterfeit of what it is you believe it to be and how you fit in it somehow because you're the cancer and you're the virus, you're somehow the alien and this and that, smash, 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 and you want to return to your elven, occupation of the organization of the multiverses of plexus that it is that you believe yourself to be, smashing in and through and in and out. In and out, 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 in and out, in and out, in the friction. Stop it. Mom, Dad, what have you sold me into? Right? And this and that and that and this and this. Exactly, because we're all being sold and traded in the open, fresh market of human trafficking. Who knew? And just because you say, well, there's the actual women and children that are at the blunt end of it. Yes, who knew? It's all through our hand. Who knew? It's not just the pervert and this, that, no. But who knew that the actual brotherhoods that have all these initiates have an active hand creating all these traumatized children that are somehow growing up as regular ass people. Some of them you don't even know that they were abused. They never say. They never tell anyone. Why would they have to say? But who knew that they were abused? And perhaps relentlessly, and maybe even just shown. Maybe they actually learned. Now they're indoctrinated in some bashhood belief of something to whatever the handler is now in charge of. And this and that and this and this and that and that and that. But somehow, no. No, it's never that. That's just watching too many. Wow. No, the only person that watched too many movies is you. Because that's what you live. That's your life. Because the relentless life that you do day in, day out is not good enough for you. So you need entertainment to just bash and smash and escape. And who knew that there's relentless ways to escape? But once you're initiated, now you're obscure. Now you have ritual. Now you have apparent purpose. It's a beginning. And all ritualized through sex, right? The bash, euphoria, orgasm, pleasure, right? The reward of feeling that connection, right? That bash was talking about in the sexual favors was the arousal and all this and empowerment and this and whatever. Or subordinate, right? To be the subordinate or somehow the dominatrix or this or the other, right? Whatever, just engaging in defilement, all to be part of the motion picture industry. Those who just cook up image worship propaganda. Yes, all counterfeits of the life you're living to take you away into fantasy of what it is that you can desire forward, of the apparent nothingness that your life is. Right? So without, apparent worship of wishing upon a star, you have nothing. You might as well just blow your brains out according to Elon Musk. That's why you need a purpose to just blast into the sun. What a shame. Living as a cast member, right? Believing yourself to be just some bash half ape. Denying the life that is and was given to you and everything you see around you in the flesh, day in, day out. It's the purpose. But no, you say your occupation is your purpose, and your organization and your civil causes are your purpose. I am part of the whole, and the people are all the power, so therefore that is my purpose, to be the power. Wow, what are you saying? The power of now, the power of authority, the power of occupation, the power of, syndrome, right? The power of what? Well, the multiples of shadows of fractals of worship of yourself, right? To the 33rd degree. As above, so below, and bashed. But see, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait because all of them are mockeries, right? Numbers and words used to deceive. When truly the word of God does not deceive. For the truth cuts deeper than any fleshly sword, and one is left to either relentlessly hide and run, or to be humbled, admit you're wrong. See the true promise. Understand your state of anxiety and fret, which is fear of God, but you deny and just say it's the fear of others, or the fear of that, that phobia, phobia. Oh, isms, isms, isms. No, we know we're wrong, but we blind ourselves to just feel ourselves right. And no feeling will heal or overcome any bashness that you think. No, it's brainwashing will just keep you more just subdued. It's just keeping you punch drunk. That's what enlightenment apparently is. Further punch drunk, steps. These are the uh instructions for this punch drunkenness. So why do you believe in the casting couch? Exactly because you live it. Even if you don't believe in it, even if you deny it exists, you're like, no, everybody just gets to what they do because of their talent and their efforts and how much they work their ass off. Exactly. How much did they work that ass off, so to speak? Because everyone is taught to use their, ability to, and they call it whatever, charisma. They call it whatever, shades of Bosch, allurement. Let's call it allurement. Everybody is in the ways of the world carved out by the craft of allurement, meaning how does one place themselves to be, portray a true signal so as to, encourage interaction based on the ways of the world. The relentless imposter, the relentless shapeshifter, all just to better and boast your position in the said apparent reality. But no, you're just boasting. You're just wasting away and abusing the flesh and just bashing. Your bash fractal of truth and this and the bash notion of tolerance and respect. But you'll be the first to fury out and lash and probably kill somebody if your reality is challenged, if your identity is denied or even just challenged or whatever. Maybe even not directly, but if indirectly, then you'll bash your fury onto that other body of whatever. Whatever. You're just the relentless smasher. You have a mallet in your hand and you're just smashing. Just mallet whatever you can. Just demolishing. You're the demo crew. All in aspiration to just get that part that will just boost you and take you into a better position of influence so that I can help people more, right? And this, no. People don't need help. People need nothing. For it's truly their worship that leads them astray. So their worship is fulfilling what whatever that promise is. Yes, the worship of the ways of the world. Wow, who knew it's what the fruits of what is seeded is lived, right? So there you go. And what is it? Nobody knows. But somehow you think you can guide it. Guide it to what? So the director apparently has a job of just making sure everything, the cut, the scene, the pit, the take, right, the timing, this, whatever. But then what is it? Blah 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 blah, did blah 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 blah, did bash, get the nice, sentiment, the right face, the right, word, the blah expression. That did I get the best out of you, Jimmy? No. Do we have to go into the trailer again and let me show you that emotion again, or do you remember it? And the kid's like, yeah, I remember. So, again, response by trauma of how we respond based on our performance. Yes. Performance. Of what? Usually our sexual activity. Who knew? Because ultimately it's manipulation. It's manipulation. The craft of sexual, right? The woman, the witch is taught to be the master manipulator, the seductress, the this, the that, the other, the blah blah blah, all just to have men around their finger, and this or just to get what they want, whatever. And it doesn't matter, right? The body type of the woman, you can just use it to your benefit no matter what. You just have to go out there and just somehow boast, right? Know your powers, know your strengths, and this and this. Bash. For it's all weakness, right? Because in weakness, we succumb to somebody who's going to say, all you have to do is just touch it. And you're like, well, okay. Exactly. What is that? You're like, well, it does nothing. I just touched it, rubbed a little bit. Fine. Whatever. Or this or that or the other. What is going on? right? Pursuit of some false promise that leadeth you to do something that somehow doesn't even matter, but somehow why is it exactly initiation? This is you're being told. Listen, there's gonna be you'll be invited to all the parties and all this stuff, and those what you have all this stuff. But listen, there's things that we do and some rituals and this, and it's just very enlightening. Hmm. Who knew? The action of beginning something, right? Initiation. Let's see what this bash says. Is a rite of passage marking entrance or acceptance into a group or society. It could also be a formal admission to adulthood in a community or one of its formal components. In an extended sense, it can also signify a transformation in which the initiate is reborn into a new role. So it's just a shapeshifter into the phoenix. What is going on? Examples of initiation ceremonies might include Christian baptism or confirmation, Jewish bar or bat mitzvah, acceptance into a fraternal organization, secret society or religious order, or graduation from school or recruiting training. So, oh, who knew that they just had to start? Might include, right? They had to say the first one might include, so initiation might include Christian baptism or confirmation. And then that's it. And the last things are fraternal organization, secret society, religious order, graduation, or recruiting training. Right? Because what initiation? If, because they had to say reborn here, right? So in the Christian, right? In the Catholic, the baptism and all this stuff. What is that? What was being preached when Christ was living? What was being said? What was being preached? What was going on? But no, you take that. What is that? And who are we if not the ones who killed the followers of Christ to boast in our image and perpetuate our idea of the future? No, it's been done. So what are you seeing? What are you worshiping? A person taking the initiation ceremony in traditional rites, such as those depicted in these pictures, is called an initiate. Oh, such in these pictures, so they're saying this one? And it had to be just some tribe, right? Some Aboriginal tribe that's the initiate. Hmm. So nowhere in the Word of God, I mean, what does it initiate? No. Either you accept Christ as your Savior, right? You worship God. You recognize the Father and seek truth. Seek the refuge of truth. Who knew? Ask for the wisdom of the Father to fill you and allow you to endure the flesh, to overcome. There's nothing to be gained under the sun. So, in initiating belief, right, you think that now you are now the light. You're bashing into the light. Reasons for and functions. The whole world is sanctified anew. The initiate can perceive the world as a sacred work, a creation of the gods. Ah, they couldn't wait. Reasons for and functions. This real valuation of ritual death. See, they have to ritualize the death and then to be reborn, right, into the brotherhood of the trust that you were just blindfolded in, and now you can see. Led to the conquest of the fear of the real death. So, wow, the ritual of death to show your conquest of the fear of the real death. So you don't fear God, you fear death. Yes, even though you worship death. So smashed. Function is the reveal the deep meaning of existence to the new generations and to help them assume the responsibility of being truly men and hence of participating in culture. Wow. So real men participate in culture, right? They don't live and endure. No, they participate in culture, in society, and they become a productive little bosh. This and that. All in boasting in his image. This and that. And everyone else is as well doing as well, and somehow it's just marvelous. It reveals a world open to the transhuman, a world that, in our philosophical terminology, we should call transcendental, transhuman, transcendental, who knew transcendence. To make the initiate opened to spiritual values, the doctrine of higher selves, and this and this and that. The donkey riding the horse and the mule riding the carriage. Types. Puberty rites. Oh, yeah. Entering into a secret society who knew mystical vocation, shamanism, and this and that. Puberty rites. Well, puberty rites, by virtue adolescent gain access to sacred to knowledge and to sexuality, by which, in short, they become human beings. Again, worshipping sex. So once they hit puberty, all right, bend over, and this and that and this. And this. Is that what's going on? Hmm. Worshippers of the elements, of the alchemy, the shape shifting ways of rewarding yourself by your own manipulation and smashing and fantasy and desires and spirit bringing it forth somehow. All at the cost of life, meaning suffering. So you endure the suffering, but somehow you're pushing forward. Wow, what a shame. By your own will. No, you think it's your own will bringing day in, day out. No, you're abusing life and then calling it your will. Wow, what a shame. Psychological. In the study of certain social forms of initiation, such as hazing in college fraternities and sororities, laboratory experiments in psychology suggest that severe initiations produce cognitive dissonance. Who knew? So who knew that in the relentless false promise that if you study and go to educate yourself because knowledge is power and just become so empowered and enlightened that somehow you're gonna go out there and smash, right? That's a false promise of it. You're gonna become somebody, you're gonna change the world or this, whatever. And then it's just smash it Groundhog Day, day in, day out, and you can become a cog of the wheel of those who just push it and just realize, wow, I've been shanked, I've been let down, I've been sold under the bus this so many times. Wow, it's just tried relent. So you become the bitter, NGO worker and this environmentalist that's just devastated because now plastic is just everywhere. Oh, and fish farms turn out to be not exactly what we thought they would be. And there's just sick. We're getting sicker and sicker. Warm. It's getting hotter and hotter, guys. Can we turn on the AC? Is just so hot here, guys. Come on, let's just cool it down. Come on, and they forgot what they were. And they shapeshifted into other bitterness and just become the total nihilist. Even though boasting that they feel something and care. Wow, I care so much. Smashed. For you know that the hypocrisy of man is astounding. Yet you participate in it. Wow, amazing. All because you can say, I'm gonna be the cog in the wheel that just smashes it and it just rises from the ashes like the phoenix. No. You're in cognitive dissonance, exactly, because the trauma creates that. You're the initiate in the casting couch because you're the cast member, and the initiation is just ritual abuse. Usually done in your own hand by abusing your flesh, smashing it with whatever else you can smash that just wet and moist, and somehow it rewarded you. What a shame. You're being defiled, bled, slow bled, just and then feasting on that bashness of the abused flesh to produce a feeling of strong group attraction among initiates after the experience. Exactly. So trauma and group therefore somehow creates a notion of somehow camaraderie, brotherhood, somehow blah blah blah. If we weren't together, we will never speak of this again. Because they want to justify the effort used. Rewards during initiations have important consequences in that initiates who feel more rewarded express stronger group identity. Exactly. So who knew that the false promise rewarded in the flesh so that you feel a stronger group identity through some bash sense of appreciation, validity, worldly worship, admiration, this and the other. As well as the group attraction, initiations can also produce conformity among new members. Psychology experiments have also shown that initiations increase feelings of, wow, affiliation. Why don't they just say Stockholm Syndrome? Freemasonry initiation and ancestry, they couldn't wait. A spiritual initiation rite normally implies a shepherding process where those who are at higher level guide the initiate through a process of greater exposure of knowledge. Mm, exactly, the false promise of knowledge. Or who knew that what you see is the knowledge of good and evil. So what more? Because exactly by knowledge they mean just trauma. By evil, to the apparent good that you think you are. Wow. So that's exposure to more knowledge, further defilement of the flesh, and you're like, yes. Now that I see the darkness, I'm gonna go out and smash the light. This may include the revelations of secrets, hence the term secret society of such organizations, usually reserved for those at higher levels of understanding. Exactly. Worship of the light, higher understanding, enlightened, all this bash. But then they sell and say, yes, enlightenment's open to everyone. Just go out and smash and brainwash yourself into the mysteries. Become mystified. Thought to go back to at the least Mycenaean period of Bronze Age, blah blah blah. Ritual magic, esotericism, yes. Initiation is considered to cause a fundamental process of change to begin within the person being initiated, and its evolution operates with both the material world and the spiritual world. What are they saying? No. See, this is all the counterfeit mechanisms by which to create the illusion of some bash spiritual world, right? When the flesh is what the purpose for you to see the true promise, because the vapor that you are in the flesh, wow, dies in a state of doubt, splitteth, right? What we see is the knowledge of good and evil, right? But what do you worship, right? What do you see? Exactly. And ultimately, what is it that you seek refuge in? For if you just seek refuge in the bash things that you can create for yourself and hide behind, who knew? It's folly. It's futile. It's in vain. For the word calleth his children home. Yes, the word always calleth, but what do we answer? Yes, we answer to man's command and man's whispers. apostolic succession. Wow. Right? Whereby the ministry of the Christian church is held to be derived from the apostles by continuous succession, which has usually been associated with a claim that the succession is through a series of bishops. No, it's for all who believeth in Christ Jesus, worship the Father God. Who knew? No, it couldn't be. No, no, no. Similar to his death and rebirth, because as well as being a beginning, it also implies an ending and existence on one level. No, you cannot end the flesh until wow. You think that blasting a bullet through your butt ends the flesh? No, you can't end it. You endure in the flesh. You endure in the refuge of truth. For anything else other that will smash you, of course, and it does. All of us. So what do we do? We come? Do we endure in walking the narrow way or the broad way? What is it? Who knew? We just think it impossible to be holy. We don't understand what it means in a state of wickedness. It's the antithesis to our identity as the wicked cancer that is defiling us into the abyss. But somehow we're trying to carve ourselves out of it through logic and reason. What a shame. But now you know you're like no logic and reason isn't that, so now we have to be the empath and the logic reasonable bash half ape, so we have to fuse our bash half ape and half bash reptile and bird bash mouse brain and somehow fuse them all together and bash our kundalini third eye into the abyss. Wow, smashed. The initiation process is often likened to a simultaneous death and rebirth. Yeah, because they evoke something. They're evoking something. Because as well, it's a spell. It's a casting. It's exactly casting couch, and you're being defiled. Because as well as being a beginning, it also implies an ending to existence, right? So to abandon the ways of the world, what does that mean? To cease chasing false promise, right? How I mean, wow, is that gonna shapeshift you? Wow, it implies a new big no. Wow, it's a recognition, a placement of the witnessing of what it is you live. What is the wisdom of the Father? For your wisdom kept you in turbidity. And who knew that peace is understood, shown how it is embodied day in, day out, and being humble. Wow, naval gang, tribal. Look at all this. China, they had to just end in China, right? At age 20 and girls age 15. Proceed details of the ceremony involved. Close to the end of the ceremony, the initiate is given a bash or an alias. Their name thereafter is secreted except before parents and rulers. Secreted. Wow. So hiding in plain sight. Hiding in plain sight. But you say, no, it's just evolution. No, it's clearly that any state of evoking some bash sense of, having a new persona. It's method acting, bashing you, traumatizing into some bash thing, cooking your brain into just creating another character and actually feeling that you're embodying whatever trance or whatever evocation you're bashing in. And then somehow when you finish the roll, you have to cook yourself back, uncook yourself. What is going on? But no, it just causes cognitive dissonance and this and that and that. Because I mean, a child grows into. I mean, what? Feel it's guided in truth, right? I mean, wow, they have union with Christ. So why wouldn't they just nourish that in their growth to whatever it may be, to completion forever that flesh is, right? And so what is it? What does it know? Does it know peace and union with the worship of God? Or does it know fret and uncertainty in the acceptance of the uncertainty because somehow you get to boast in how you're bettering? Getting closer to certainty, but just somehow abusing the fine tunedness of perfection that you abuse and then just justify because we're just flawed. We're just diseased. We're just greedy and power hungry. Whatever. I'm just gonna friction. Just bash. Rub that bean and keep on that casting couch. What a shame.